This channel is designed for adults viewing only, and certain videos will contain rated M for mature video games, featuring realistic violence, gore and suggestive themes. If you are not an adult, do not view the content on this channel.
Don't go anywhere, stay tuned. Get ready to take a trip down memory lane.
So here we are playing a few hidden gems on the Sega Saturn. The first game that we're going to check out is a platformer. It's a Super Tempo on the Sega Saturn. And it's a very, very underrated platformer. You're about ready to see in a second. Here's the introduction. It's very fancy looking. Look at that. Alright, there was also a Tempo game on the 32X. Look how cool that looks. It's pretty damn awesome. Check that out. Alright, then we have the title screen right here. It definitely looks very colorful and awesome looking. Look at that. Definitely makes you want to play it. I'm not exactly sure what this says though. I need a translator. Round start. So most of the game is in English. There's only a few things that pop up in Japanese. And here we have something going on here. Oh, we got some writing. You can see probably a little bit of the story on what the game is. And here we have a very, very, very colorful, nice looking platformer. Check this out. That's our main character right there. Greeted by a little panda over here. Check that panda out. You can bounce on its head and collect all different types of things up here. I'm not sure what the hell that was, but that was pretty cool. So on this game, the A button jumps and the C button jumps also. So let's jump past that guy. Got some musical notes right here. Check that out. That's pretty awesome. You can also throw bubbles. When you throw bubbles, it can actually bump into the bubble and pop your enemy, which is pretty unique. What game do you like on Sega Saturn? They're probably not going to mention this game. This is not really that well known. I remember playing it on the 32X. I actually own it. I guess it might have been the game that came out before this one. But this one definitely, I mean, check this out. Look at this. That is pretty cool. Look at this little bastard right here. Look at this. Pop your ass. What the hell is that? It's a freaking frog. Holy shit. And you can shoot the frog, but you have to be... Oh, shit. Might not want to mess with him. Just forget about that. And right now we're swimming in the water. One thing that's really awesome about the game is the animation. Just check that out. You swim, and then once you get up to the surface, he spits water out of his mouth. Very, very detailed. What the hell just happened? My dead body is like floating up there. And there's a little small door there, and my guy just flew into that little small door. Alright, so it looks like we are in a, what appears to be a different portion of the level, or a completely different level. You know, what's interesting about these characters, I mean, you look at this character. He looks very, very, very reminiscent to one of those Splatoon characters for the Wii U. I mean, check that out. Hold on the button, he even throws water out, or something that looks like paint. You can see right here, we're back on the, what the hell is that? Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? You gotta be kidding me. That was probably one of the most craziest things I've ever seen in a game. That was I don't know what to say about that. That was pretty insane. We got this frog right here. We have to kick his ass before he eats me for lunch. Get out of here, bitch. Oh, shit. That didn't work out too well. Damn, it didn't work out too well. Again, what the hell's up with all the pissing kids in this? Look at this. What the hell is that? This appears to be the next level right here. It's it. You never know what the hell you're going to see in this game. It has a lot of random enemies and a lot of weird shit that just pops up out of nowhere, like people taking a piss. And there's a lot of shock values, so just be quite prepared to see whatever. That looks like an Oreo cookie. But once again, for a platform, this game is actually pretty awesome. And that looks like one of those celebrity birds from the 32X. if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, this is a boss. So you have to pretty much avoid getting hit by those, whatever the hell those things are. What the hell is that? What the hell? And that is Super Temple on the Sega Saturn. Pretty awesome game. You should definitely check it out if you want to play something very different. Definitely a hidden gem on the Sega Saturn. Now, this game is a Bomberman game. And little do people know, there's actually 2 Bomberman games. Actually, there's 3 Bomberman games on the Saturn, but this one is Saturn Bomberman Fight. And it's one of the lesser known Bomberman games on the Sega Saturn, but this game is actually pretty awesome. What makes this game pretty awesome is that it takes advantage of the multi-tap. You can play 4 players as well, which is pretty cool. Or you can play against 3 computer guys, which we're going to check out right here. So it's not your typical 2D old school Bomberman game. This game is actually completely in 3D, which for the Sega Saturn is pretty unique. Alright, so the computer is actually picking their guys right now. They actually choose their characters right off the select screen, which is pretty cool. And right now they're running right into the battle zone. Check that out. That's pretty awesome. Look at that. You can definitely choose different 3D levels, which for the Sega Saturn, this looks actually fantastic. Look at that. And this game is definitely a hidden gem on the Saturn. This one of my favorites, and you're about to see why. The 3D graphics look beautiful on the Saturn. Look at that. And this game only released in Japan, for us I know, so it definitely is one of those really rare gems on the Sega Saturn. It's probably not that rare, but it's just not exactly well known. And right here, this is your normal, typical Bomberman game right here, but you're going to see eventually why it differs from the other Bomberman games. Because it's fucking insane. As you can see, it's getting real crazy real quick. Oh shit, what is that? And now you know why this game is awesome. Did you see that big huge bomb? What the hell was that? So basically in this game, you can actually blow up the whole freaking map. Look at that. My ass is on fire. I'm gonna spend a lot of time trying to dodge bullets in this game. Oh shit. Take that, you son of a bitch. Yeah, that's exactly why this game is different from normal Bomberman games, because you can blow the whole freaking level up if you want to. With an atomic bomb, that's what it looks like. It's freaking ridiculously huge. Get the fuck out of the way! Oh crap. Again, the graphics for the Saturn are nice. I love it. The sound effects are a little annoying, but it is what it is. It's Bomberman. You have to tolerate it a little bit. Turn the TV down. Damn, what the hell? I blew myself up. This game is definitely a hidden gem on the Sega Saturn. If you want to play a really cool game that's a strategy game or 4 players, definitely check this game out. This game is awesome. That almost looks like a fat bloated Pikachu. Look at that thing. So here we have a bouncing Bandai logo that can only mean a couple of things. And it just happens to be Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam, which is really, really good. Let's check this out. This is definitely a hidden gem on the Sega Saturn. It's the title screen right here. The Sega Saturn. Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story #1. Now, before we play this game, I just want to give you a little background on why I discovered this game. I started collecting Sega Saturn games and came across this game, and when I first played it, I was like, holy shit, this game is freaking awesome. You're not going to believe how awesome this game is. This game kicks ass. Check this out. You actually have 3D Gundam robots, and they're just ready to kick ass. Just look at them. That's exactly what you see on the TV. Look at that shit. I mean, this came out on the Sega Saturn, and look how awesome this looks. This came out in '96. So even if you're comparing it to a computer game back then, this looked freaking awesome. So you can also lock onto your enemy, which happens to be that jackass right there. And you can actually walk up to him real fast and boom, hit him with a sword. How do you like that, you bitch? You see, this game right here, it's definitely one of my all-time favorite Sega Saturn games. I love mech games, and this is definitely surprisingly good mech game. This game caught me by surprise. I had never even heard of it until recently, maybe about 5 years ago. Blew up this bastard. So you have probably 3 or 4 different weapons. You have a cannon, you have that thing right there, which is shooting like normal bullets. And you also have what appears to be some type of a grenade, which I actually never used that until like right now, because I have never pushed that button. Even though I played the game 100 times, I'm not sure why. But. And what makes this game awesome is there's not just one of these games, there's actually 3 of them. So they made 3 Gundam Side Story games for the Sega Saturn. And you can collect all of them and play all of them if you have the Sega Saturn. I have 2 of them. I haven't purchased the 3rd one yet. And they come in really, really cool cases too, like cardboard cases, paper cases. Not like cardboard. You can actually open them up like a book. And look how detailed this is. They have army tanks rolling around trying to fight both of us, or trying to fight me. I'm not sure what the hell's going on. But you can actually blow the army tanks up too. Look at that. Ooh, take that, you son of a bitch. And blow up the Gundam guy at the same time. Actually, he's not a guy, he's a robot. You know what I mean. Take that. That's pretty cool. You can blow up a building. You saw that shit? That's very, very reminiscent to the Battle Tanks game that I used to play on Nintendo 64. Our next hidden gem on the Sega Saturn is developed by Human Entertainment, which could mean only one thing. It's going to be a really, really awesome treat. Blazing Tornado on the Sega Saturn. Look at this. An awesome wrestling game, not a racing. What the hell am I talking about? Awesome wrestling game on the Sega Saturn. It's kind of hard to read, but it's in Japanese and English. Blazing Tornado. And if you are a fan of Saturday Night Slam Masters, you will definitely love this game. Alright, let's play the game. And right here you choose your characters, and once again, they look very, very similar to Saturday Night Slam Masters. And before you start the match, you have a really cool ring announcer. See right here, check that out. That is the most awesome ring wrestling entrance ever. Look at that. They're both entering the arena at the same time. Look at that. Here we go. Oh, kick your ass. So if you like Fire Pro Wrestling games, you're obviously going to like this. So the graphics are definitely really nice for the Sega Saturn. This game never came out on the PlayStation or anything else. This is a very, very awesome exclusive on the Sega Saturn. Oh, he threw me outside the ring. You saw that? The game just keeps getting more awesome and awesome as you play. And we're battling outside the ring. Oh my god, he threw me into the freaking apron. Get your ass back in the ring before I get counted out. Well, Irish whip, what the hell's going on here? Oh, this Irish whip me just kicked me in the face. Oh, I need me in the face, what the hell? What the hell? Kicked me out of the ring again. And you see the logo right there, kind of resembles the old WWF logo with an H in the beginning of it. We both made it back in the ring before the ring out. Look at that! It zooms in on your ass getting kicked. That is so awesome. See nothing but stars above my head. The game is a little hard, but you can get a table. Look at that. That's crazy. Look at this. There's weapons. So you walk over and just grab a weapon, and then wait for his ass to get up and smash that shit on your fucking head. Get back in the ring. How you like that, huh? Look at that. Ooh, nice. Take that. Yeah, this game is great. If you like a wrestling game, you want something really fun to play that's arcade-ish, this is it right here. There is a way of running. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. Oh, I tangled myself up in the ropes. I didn't know exactly. There is a way of jumping over the ropes. You can do different. Oh, shit. I tell you, the action you get in this game is crazy. It's like watching a real wrestling match. The hell is he taking his time pinning? I just got my ass kicked, but it was still fun anyways. This is definitely a hidden gem on the Sega Saturn. This game is awesome. So our next hidden gem on the Sega Saturn, well, we're gonna have to pick the memory first. Let's see what this is. Shaliko, look at that. So our next hidden gem is a racing game, as you can see here. It's GT24. Probably a game that not too many people have even heard of. The most popular racing games on the Saturn are probably Sega Rally, Sega GT. Actually, no, Sega GT wasn't even on Saturn. Daytona USA, things like that. This is the title screen of GT24. The graphics on the game are actually very, very nice on the Sega Saturn. It's probably one of the nicer looking racing games, if not the best looking racing game in my opinion. By the time this game came out, there was already like Gran Turismo on the PlayStation and all that crap, but this game right here is kind of like a simulator. It feels like a simulator and an arcade mixed together. It has very, very nice controls. It's quite easy to play too. It's not that hard. It's a very, very underrated racing game on the Sega Saturn. There might be a few people out there that collect Saturn games that heard of it and played it before. Of course, I'm driving like an asshole, but it's very, very easy to play. It might actually use the 3D Saturn control also. It probably does, because a lot of the racing games did. Even the textures on the road look really nice. The grass textures right there look nice too, especially when the grass petals are being spit up into your... The sound effects are not that bad either, surprisingly. They're pretty good. Now, I mean, look at that. The actual sky has changed, so you can see there the lighting actually changed. You can see the lighting definitely looks a little bit different than it did before, so that's actually very, very nice. You can see the sky just turned to night. So it's very, very nice graphics in this game. And now, the Sega Saturn really didn't have a real racing simulator, as far as I know. Not too many of them, I don't think, at all. I think they have mostly just racing games that were arcade style. So this is the closest thing to like a racing simulator that you're going to get. And the graphics look almost as good as Gran Turismo. Probably not quite, because of course the PlayStation had the edge for 3D graphics, but this game definitely is a really, really nice racing game. And don't mind me playing the game. I don't play it the greatest. I'm actually crashing here and there, but the game is actually... The controls are really nice on it, and the game is awesome. So, for a racing game, this is definitely a game that I would recommend on the Sega Saturn. And now our next game on our hidden gem list is made by Taito. That could be quite a few things, but it's a soccer game. Check this out. This is pretty awesome. Hat Trick Hero S for the Sega Saturn. Now, usually I don't play too many sports games, but this one popped up on the list. Let's check it out. Now, this game, basically, if you want to play a really cool arcade-style soccer game, this would be the one you want to play. Gives you a good reason to buy a Sega Saturn. Let's check this out. You have to pick your character first. They call it the Ace Select. I'm not sure what that means, but this guy looks pretty crazy. We're going to pick him. And then from there, you pick your country. Alright, so we're going to pick USA. Let's check this out. Yeah, take that. And look at this. It's almost like the NBA Jam of soccer. I mean, this game is ridiculously fun. Now, keep in mind, I don't know how to play this game that well, so... It's actually one of the few times I actually played the game, because I actually discovered it recently. And if you have a... Damn, look at that. So anyways, this game takes soccer and it turns into something even more fun. It's a straight up crazy arcade game to play. In this game you see a bunch of crazy stuff going on throughout the game, not just normal soccer playing. I mean, you actually jump right over people like that. Get over here, you bitch. Oh, what the hell? So this is definitely a fun game to play with. Say if you have a buddy over at the house and you want to play a really cool Sega Saturn game. If you guys want to play a really fun sports game, this is definitely a sports hidden gem right here. Now, what caught my eye about this game, I actually saw a video of it. I believe I saw, not mistaken, an ambulance drive right out on the field and pick up a player, because I believe you can injure each other during the game. And there's a lot of crazy animation like you just saw right there, and a lot of crazy stuff you can do in the game. So this is literally probably like the NBA Jam of soccer games, in my opinion. This is actually a really cool, underrated sports game. And if you like soccer, you're going to love this game. It's very, very fast-paced and arcade-ish. And here we are playing another hidden gem on the Sega Saturn. This is our final hidden gem for today. There will be probably more sooner than later, but let's check this game out. Dedulous, if that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure, but Dedulous. That's the title screen right there. Check that. What the hell is that? Is that a mech robot? Oh, this is going to be awesome. Please wait while connecting to the server. What the hell? Wow, look at this. What the hell is this? I never played this before. I actually own a Sega Saturn. Remember, this is probably one of those games that people overlooked. Oh, Dedulous. That's probably not a good game at all. I mean, the graphics look freaking awesome. Look at this. Open sesame, bitch. Hey, it actually worked. Alright, let's go this way. See, wow, the graphics look freaking insane. Is this wall flat, or is that really texture sticking out like that? Looks like it's almost like a bump mapping type thing. Look at that. That's crazy looking. That's pretty good. Alright. Now, wait a minute. That's fucking with my eyes. That can't be flat. No, that's 3D. This is definitely 3D. Because if you walk to the side, it doesn't look the same. Wow, that looks pretty cool. How the fuck do you open this? Alright, so... Whoa, that was cool looking. I don't know what the hell that was, but that was pretty cool looking. And there's a button that you hold down, you can actually jump around. I'm not sure what the hell I'm supposed to be doing yet, because I actually just first started playing the game, but... I wonder if this game came out on the PlayStation. I'm not sure if it did or not, but... This game actually looks pretty good. What the hell is that? Take that, you son of a bitch. Whoa, I mean... What I like about the game definitely is the, that weird TV-looking effect that pops up on the screen when, I guess you get hit by an enemy. It looks like your monitor goes haywire a little bit. That actually is pretty cool. We have more enemies right here. Pick up ammunition right here. If you hold down the B button, you can walk faster too, so you don't have to, like, drag your ass around real slow to different places. If you walk on these, that red floor right there, you actually get hurt. So I'd advise you not to do that, unless you plan on killing yourself. What the hell is that thing? It's like a army tank with 4 legs. Yeah, that's cool. Look at the effect. That is pretty awesome. I can't get over how awesome that looks. I never thought that getting my ass kicked was so awesome, but that... I don't mind getting my ass kicked in this game because it looks pretty freaking awesome. Look at that. Alright, what the hell is this? This is the end of the... Oh, we're on floor number 2. Huh. That's pretty interesting. You can also hear the music in the background. The audio and the music doesn't sound bad either, which is pretty cool. It's not bad. It's a pretty... What the hell is this? See, with these games, the more and more you play them, the more awesome they get. You walk up to that guy, punch that son of a bitch right in the face. There is a map up on the top left, so if you do get lost, I guess that map's there to help you out. There's also a little radar sorta in the center of the screen that will help you out if you're wondering if there's an enemy beside you or in front of you, whatever the case may be. See right there, now that little orange dot popped up on the screen because there's an enemy right there ahead of me. It shot me. I'm gonna walk forward. We have 91% shield. Yeah, take that, you son of a bitch. And that's it for tonight. Those are the hidden gems on the Sega Saturn for, we'll call this volume number 1. In the future, there will be a volume number 2. Now here we are playing a All Japan Pro Wrestling game featuring Virtua Fighter characters for the Sega Saturn. This is on the SSF emulator, so it kind of looks a little bit different than the actual real console itself. And as you can see here, there's a training mode, featuring mode, which I have no idea what that is. One player option. This is playing off a real disc. So what we'll do is we'll go into a one player mode. As you can see here, we have a set of wrestlers. Some of them you might be familiar with, like looks like Dr. Death right there, Steve Williams, and that looks like what's his name from WWE? Forgot his name. So let's check this game out. Yeah, John Laurinaitis, that's his name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to pick one of these Virtua Fighter characters. It's been a while since I played this game, so I don't quite remember how the controls work, but as you can see here, the graphics are actually pretty damn good for a Saturn game. It almost looks like one of those Nintendo 64 wrestling games. And here comes the guy that's probably going to kick the crap out of me. One thing I like about this game is, as you look in the background, the crowd, even though it doesn't move and even though it does look pixelated, the crowd looks pretty nice. The sound effects are fantastic in this game. It sounds like real wrestling. As you can see here, it kind of resembles a fighting game. You can grapple, and you can actually get really technical in this game. Ho ho ho! German suplex. So I guess in this game, the only thing you have to use is the A, B, and C button. It's nice and simple. You grapple with the B button, and you can just execute the moves with the C button. And the A button, of course, does the striking. Do the elbow drop right there. Holy crap, that's a high elbow drop. See there, what the hell is that? This game actually works perfect with the Saturn controller also. I must say that this game actually plays really, really nice. There's probably not a big, huge set of moves in this game for each character, but I must say that the technicality of the game and it feels like an actual real wrestling simulator. Oh, he knocked me the hell out, unfortunately. The graphics are fantastic on this game. The ring looks real. The wrestlers look pretty good. And the crowd looks awesome. The sound effects are amazing. As you can see here, I'm coming to the ring with my theme song by Sega Sound Team. Hop over the ropes, ready to kick someone's ass. I believe that is John Laurinaitis. Kinda looks like it. See there? Uh-oh. Ho ho ho, I'm dragged. This game is pretty awesome for a wrestling game on the Saturn. And I believe it's the only 3D wrestling game on the Saturn, if I'm not mistaken. Ho 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 ho, what the hell is that? Got an arm bar on him. See if it break his damn arm. Uh-oh. Oh ho ho, he knocked me out. Oh, he went to the top rope. I must say that this game looks pretty good. Imagine if there was like a WCW or a WWF game that came out using this engine for the Saturn. I just got beat by John Laurinaitis. What the hell? So we have a feature in mode. I'm not sure what the hell that is, but we're going to check it out. There's feature in mode. And wrestler edit. So it appears to be some type of not sure what this is. I can't. Wow, is this some type of create a wrestler mode? I'm not sure if this is a create a wrestler mode. It appears to be, but if so, this is probably one of the first create a wrestler modes in any wrestling game that I know of. Okay, so this is a Japanese Sega Saturn startup. And we have the Alone in the Dark 2. Jack is back. Japanese menu right there. And we have some Japanese right there. I'm not sure what that says. What the hell does that say? Here we go. And right here is the intro. Let's take a look. It looks like I'm at some type of mansion. It doesn't really look like a friendly place. This is one of those classic Halloween type games. Mafia shit. Go up the gate. Bam. So you can see he actually left a suitcase near the fence and he blew the fence up. Alright, so I blew up the gate and now I'm inside some of what looks like a little building right there. I'm not even sure what the hell that is, to be honest, but what the hell is that? Is that a zombie with a gun? You headbutt the shit out of this guy. Bam! Just like that. So this is more like a primitive version of Resident Evil. Now this is where the gameplay actually starts. So I'm actually doing this part right here. As you can see, I'm headbutting this zombie. Now the controls are really weird, because when you attack you have to hold down, up, left, right, and they at the same time to actually hit a zombie or a creature. Let's see where I go. It looks like straight ahead we have a mansion. This game definitely does not use common sense at all, because you have to actually research how to play it before you play it. Looks like a big ass statue right here, and the hell is that? This is what's up with all these zombies with guns and rifles? Now zombies are scary enough just the way they are, but a zombie with a rifle, right now they're literally shooting me with a whole shitload of bullets. Should be dead by now. How do I shoot? What the hell button do I push? I actually found the button, I think. But by the time I kill these bastards, I'm gonna be dead already. In my opinion, it's like experimental because the controls are so lousy. What the hell is that thing? Oh my god. This game, let me tell you, for a game that came out in like the early 90s, this game is pretty freaking scary. Just want to get the hell out of here. Now, unless you figure out how to shoot the weapon, you're gonna get stuck, you're gonna get killed. The English version is probably easier to play if you speak English. Man, my character finally died. Alright, so we're playing some Destruction Derby on the Sega Saturn. I have the actual real disc, so you can actually hear the actual real audio. This is on the SSF emulator for the Sega Saturn, and it's pretty much the same exact thing as the PlayStation version, as you can see here. Except for this, you can actually load some internal data from the Sega Saturn. This Sega Saturn had pretty much a built-in memory card, as long as your battery was working. You can see here we got a loading screen. Pretty fancy loading screen, check that out. As you can see by the graphics are actually pretty damn impressive. That's the rookie vehicle, and then we have the amateur Grim Reaper. Now, a lot of people say that the Sega Saturn sucks at doing the 3D, but as you can see here, it actually does pretty damn good. And this is the Pro, so if you're really a kick-ass Destruction Derby driver, this is the vehicle you want to use. So in this game, you also have several different tracks. We're going to try this track out, see how this works. So here we are, we're playing Destruction Derby on the Saturn. I'm actually using a 360 controller. I remember having this on PlayStation, and I most recently, within the last 5 or 6 years, bought the Sega Saturn version of this game. And believe it or not, I do like the Sega Saturn version better. There's something about it that seems better to me. I don't know why, but it's just more fun. One thing that's really different between the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn version is the smoke effects. The smoke effects on the PlayStation version are transparent, while the Sega Saturn version has a different type of smoke effect that is not transparent. Now, this game came out in like 94 or 95, so for the time being, the graphics are outstanding. Like, when this game first came out, I was like, holy crap, this looks good. Imagine going from like Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo to Sega Saturn and playing this game. Like, this is a huge leap in graphics. As you can hear, the sound quality is like really good too. It's CD quality sound quality. So not only are you getting a huge leap in graphics, but you're getting a huge leap in sound also. And at the bottom right side of the screen, it tells you which section of your vehicle is damaged the most. Now we have a replay mode right here where you can actually watch your race that you previously did from several different camera angles, and it looks pretty damn good. Sega Saturn was a beast, not only in 3D, well 2D, but it was a beast all around when it came to video games back then. It was 3D, 2D, everything. So I'm not sure how many vehicles we have on screen at once, but there is literally a lot of vehicles on the screen at once. And the game doesn't slow down. As you can see here, this is actually a blast to play because what I get to try to do is survive while taking out the other vehicles. As you can see here, you can actually change the camera angle on your vehicle and you can pretty much see the damage up close. For a game during that era, this actually is pretty damn impressive in detail. As you can see on the bottom right hand of the screen, you can see exactly where your damage is on that little map. And your vehicle literally matches where the damage is. If you see any vehicles that have any black pillar of smokes coming out of it, that's pretty much a vehicle that's completely done. It's not going to be able to race anymore. You can also have a first-person view of what's going on here. And if you have a steering wheel, this is actually pretty cool. I personally own, I believe, yeah, it's the Japanese version of the game. So here we are playing the Sega Saturn, and we're playing Gex. The very, very first Gex on the Sega Saturn, and also on the PlayStation and the 3DO, and we have the little introduction right here. Crystal Dynamics.
It all started so simply.
And here we have a little introduction before the game begins.
Routine of nude funkercise, fired up the Barca Lounger, grabbed a quick bite to eat, and prepared to watch.
And here we have the actual title screen right here. Very, very awesome title screen. And we have an option menu, we can check that out. In the option menu, we basically have the idea of how to play this game. Go to start, let's see what happens here. Let's see, enter. No, wow, since I played this. So right now we're going into the cemetery.
Let's get back to the mystery van.
Have a little Scooby-Doo reference there, that's pretty cool. And now we're in the first level right here. Let's figure out the controls for this damn game, it's been so long. There we go.
This one's for Johnny.
It's been a long ass time since I played this game. It's like one of the earlier Sega Saturn games and PlayStation games. Because for the time, the graphics are actually pretty good. And there is a run button somewhere on here. Here it is.
It's tail time.
Very, very good platformer on the Sega Saturn. It's a classic. No matter what console it is, it's actually a pretty decent game. So we just warped into a different section of the level right here. tell you that when you don't play this game for a long time, the controls kind of throw you off. Then it takes maybe a couple minutes, and then the controls are like very, very familiar once again. Very, very awesome gameplay on this game. These damn TVs blew up, I believe. Yep.
For me? You shouldn't have.
Yep, this is the end of the level right here. Very, very easy platform to play, but it's very fun. But basically, we have to look for a remote. The first time around, I didn't find the remote. That's something we definitely need to find. This is one of those games that helped transition 16 and 32-bit consoles. This looks like almost something that would be on a 16-bit console, but it definitely displays the characteristics of a 32-bit console. Mainly because of the way the textures look and a lot of the things that stick out in this game, the coloration of the actual textures themselves. I'll say that overall this game right here is definitely an awesome platformer on the Saturn. It's a classic. It's a fairly well-known game, so I said back then the game was fairly well-known. It's not a rare gem at all. The game is definitely worth getting, though. If you do find the game on the PlayStation or the Sega Saturn, I do prefer the Saturn version, but the game itself is awesome on no matter what console it is. Acclaim. Remember when Acclaim was still around? Those were the days, man. And we're going to be playing Impact Racing. A very, very underrated racing game in my opinion. A very, very impactful loading screen right there. As you can see in the background, it's like someone got ran off the road. 50 miles per hour speed limit. As you can see here, this is when games were nice and simple. You didn't have no crazy selection screen. It's kept it nice and simple for the most part. And this is your option menu right here. You got high score, you get your sound setting, your control pad. And of course, you can choose whether you want to play on easy, hard, or normal. We'll keep it on normal. As you can see here, these are the vehicles that you can actually choose. And I am using an upscaler, so it might look a little bit nicer than playing it on your regular composite cables. So this game's sort of like a Spy Hunter type deal. You have to drive and shoot. Now keep in mind, I haven't played this game in forever, which is the reason why I'm not driving that well. It's a nice, simple driving game, and the only thing you have to do is drive behind your opponent, your enemy, and shoot them off the road. Just like the loading screen. Right now I'm using the 3D Saturn controller. Unfortunately, the joystick doesn't work on this game. It's not fully compatible with the 3D controller, so I'm using the D-pad on it. If it was compatible with the actual joystick, that would have been awesome. Those of you who remember the Spy Hunter game on PS2 and GameCube, Xbox. Well, that was before that time. As you can see, like if you push the left trigger, he actually drops something out his ass. I'm not sure what that is. I think it's some type of explosive. But if you can see on the top right screen, you can actually see like a little map up there that tells you when things are coming towards you and what's behind you. Which is pretty nice. It's almost like, it's literally like Spy Hunter. I must say this is probably one of the more funner racing games on the Sega Saturn. As far as the sound and the graphics go, this is a 90s racer game, so it pretty much screams out the 90s, so you can tell how it looks and how it sounds. The sound effects are what you would expect from a 90s racing game, and the gameplay as well. It's a very arcade-ish racing game.
You did it!
As you can see here, it's telling me to destroy 10 cars to qualify to the bonus stage. So basically our goal right here is to destroy 10 cars. You know, the first level of the game wasn't the greatest, but once you get into the like second level and going forward, the game actually gets better and better. And you actually get the hang of it. And this game does look very, very good on the Sega Saturn. Some people say that the 3D games do not look the greatest on Saturn. Well, this is one of those few exceptions where the game actually looks really good. This game right here is actually pretty addictive to play after a while. It's a really badass racing game. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if you're looking at the smokestacks that are coming out of the vehicle, I believe there's actually transparent textures in this game, which is really unusual for Sega Saturn games. There's very few games that have that. I could be wrong though. You can see here I choose a different vehicle. It has that more of a sports car look, maybe a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I am seeing some transparent textures in this game, which is really unusual. See, now I'm getting the hang of driving. It takes a little while to get the hang of it, but it's actually pretty easy to drive in this game once you get the hang of it. The acceleration is actually not the A, B, or C button, it's actually the up button. You have to hold down the up button. Then you hold down once you want to spin around the corner real fast. It's pretty unique. I believe this game was on the, well, I know it was on the PlayStation, but I believe it was on the 3DO also. It'd be interesting to see what the 3DO version of it looks like. I mean, back then, in the 90s, they really didn't have too many racing games that had a lot of explosions and shooting going on. We'll see Twisted Metal probably just came out around that time. This was definitely a new breed of racing game during that time. This is definitely a hidden gem on the Sega Saturn. I don't think the game really costs that much either. But overall, the game is actually pretty damn fun. I really, really enjoyed this game. I did not expect it to be this fun. I strongly recommend picking it up if you guys do enjoy playing racing games. This racing game is really, really unique. If you do like Burnout, Spy Hunter, any of those racing games, you will definitely enjoy this one. Here we are playing Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story for the Sega Saturn. So you can see here, this is the title screen. It was developed in 1986 by Bandai. One of my favorite Gundam games of all time right here. There was actually 3 Side Story games for the Sega Saturn, and they pretty much all look the same. As you can see here, we have a little bit of a mission briefing right here. Now this game is all about gameplay because I have no idea what the hell's going on in this storyline. As you can see here, the graphics are pretty awesome for the Sega Saturn. This is definitely a hidden gem on the Sega Saturn, as you can see here. This really demonstrates that the Sega Saturn was really compatible of doing some really nice 3D graphics. When I play this game, I get really into it because it's almost like a Mech Warrior game, but with Gundam robots. And the game itself is pretty damn awesome, as you can see here. And you can see there, you got the sword also. The explosions are pretty damn awesome, as you can see there. This is one of my favorite Sega Saturn games. You might as well call me a fanboy of this game, because even if some people agree that it's not really the greatest game, you can see there I just knocked that Gundam bot down with a sword. And the cool thing about the game is you can see occasionally people running around on the ground, like right here. This game has a lot of detail on it, even though the textures are not the greatest. I mean, they're dated, but you can still see a lot of detail on the map right here. Like, you can actually see soldiers running into that building right there. And for the Sega Saturn, that's pretty damn detailed. And by the way, you can actually destroy these buildings. So it really doesn't get any more better than that. You can destroy buildings, destroy other robots. You can shoot big-ass cannons and guns, and use Gundam swords.
生きた心地が死ぬぐったぜ。俺は死ぬ時はベッドの上って決めてんだ。優勝いい。お互い鉄の棺桶の中じゃ死にたかはねえよな。
So basically what he just said is I just kicked everybody's ass, and whew, it's time to take a nap. Imagine going from a Sega Genesis to a Sega Saturn. This is a huge leap. Now here's a stage that takes place during the day. And as you see, the graphics are pretty damn awesome. There's also a Gun Griffin game on the Sega Saturn that looks very, very impressive. And they're both fun games, but this is definitely one of my favorites. And you would figure that a game like this wouldn't be really the easiest game to play on a Sega Saturn controller, but believe it or not, it actually plays it really well. You don't need a second stick to play with this game at all. It runs perfectly on the controller. I would have to go on the record saying that this game is actually more fun than playing most of the newer shooters that are out today. In my opinion, anyways. As I mentioned before, the details that they add into this game, they have like little tanks driving around shooting at my Gundam bot. And they have this thing over here. And I can see my Gundam just took a major hit. Overall, this game is probably one of the best games I've played on the Sega Saturn. It's one of my favorite. If you guys ever get a chance to import Sega Saturn games, definitely pick up all three of the Side Story Gundam games. So we have a very, very boring loading screen. It says not loading. Wow, a lot of effort put into that. Time Warner Interactive. Time Warner can't be that good. Okay, so we're playing Race Drivin. A game that I would never imagine being released on the Sega Saturn, because this game is like from the early 90s, late 80s. This game is on the Sega Genesis and it's on the Super Nintendo. How the hell did it end up on the Sega Saturn? I'm not sure. So as you can see here, this is our main menu. Arcade mode, real mode, where things get real. The game option, and we have a ranking right here. So of course we're going to try out the arcade mode. And as you can see here, this is your car selection, and the graphics look pathetic compared to what should be on the Sega Saturn. This, as you can see here, the frame rate is really, really good, obviously, because the Sega Saturn can easily render that with no problem. But what the hell? How the hell did this end up on Sega Saturn? As you can see here, there's several different courses that you can choose. Maybe about 3 or 4 to be exact. And what's funny about this game is going from the selection screen to the game itself, there's literally like no loading screen, because the game is so simplistic that it really requires no loading screen at all. And whoa, what's pretty cool about this is they can actually use the 3D controller, the joystick, which I never even knew until now. However, as you can see there, the controls are not really the greatest, and I just blew up my freaking car, man. What the hell? The hell is this? Is this the horn? This is definitely a weird release on the Sega Saturn. I would have even never imagined. I remember playing something similar to this on DOS, on a computer way back in the day, and I remember playing the Sega Genesis version. As you can see there, we have a barn. The graphics can't be any more blender than what they are. As you can see here, we're going up to a checkpoint. We don't. There's a little countdown at the bottom of the screen. What the freaking hell was that? Did I just see a cow on the screen? What the hell? Okay, so it feels like 1990, 1991. This game obviously would be a really technological defeat for that time period. It'd be like, oh wow, this is really awesome. But say this being released in 1995 on the Sega Saturn, it's like, what the hell were they thinking? Let's see, what the hell is this? How the hell do I go in reverse? What the hell just happened? Okay, so I did see a cow. As you can see here, there's cows, and I don't know what the hell just happened. I guess I just drove right through them. So let's try out real mode, see what the hell that is. Just for the hell of it. Hey, you can't get any realer than this. Let's drive a truck. Truck appears to be the only thing that has texture in the game besides the background, so as you can see there, the truck has some texture. This doesn't feel too damn real to me now. Believe it or not, I've driven one of these trucks before. And when it comes to realism, this is pretty far from it. 65 miles per hour turning the corner, were you nuts? Wow, this truck got some hang time. I'm gonna say by Sega Saturn standards, this game graphically is horrible. Because the Sega Saturn can do a lot better than this. I would be very interested in hearing the story on how the hell this ended up on the Saturn. And again, this was never... I don't think this was... What the hell just happened? Well, I guess they ain't getting their packages, because I just blew up the whole damn truck. I'm gonna drive up here and try to jump this jumper here, and then we made it that time. Guess they're gonna be getting their packages after all. Look at this. The replays are even funnier. You can see I blew up in midair. I actually bounced off the mountain. What the hell? How the hell do you get out of this? Guess you have to wait till the time counts down completely to get out of the game. Oh, what the hell? I just went through a checkpoint, so now I have to wait longer. As you can see, there's a lot of foliage in the game. What is that? 150 miles per hour minimum? What are they, nuts? Wow. Well, there is texture on the road, as you can see here. I guess they did add some texture. I don't even know where the hell I'm driving. Where am I? Where the fuck am I? What the hell is going on? What the hell is... Did I just fall through the road? I did! Is this game freaking broken or what? The only way I would recommend you buying this game or playing it is if you really want to collect Sega Saturn games and you just don't own it yet. There's plenty of other better games to get, of course, but this is just a really strange release on the Sega Saturn. It's more fun to make fun of than actually play it. But then again, if you are pretty good at this game on the other consoles, you might want to check it out. And check out how nice this looks. Street Fighter 02 in HD. I don't know about you, but I think it looks pretty damn good. And again, this is being upscaled to 720p HD. I think it's unnecessary to do 1080p for this because it's an old school game. As you can see, this is what our fighters look like in upscale. Pretty awesome. So let's pick Ryu.
Ready? Round one, fight!
And here we have some HD Sega Saturn. It's fantastic. What's better than Sega Saturn? It's just an upscale Sega Saturn. Can't get any better than that. This thing's a 2D beast. There's no lagging at all, which is wonderful. And by the way, the Sega Saturn control is perfect for this game. The controller is actually designed for this game, so I strongly recommend using a Saturn controller while playing Street Fighter, no matter what console it is, because it gets the job done very well. So basically, I just wanted to show off the upscaling on this. We already know that this game is awesome, so there makes no sense to go into like a real thorough review on this game. If you don't have this game on Sega Saturn, you're out of your mind. You have to buy it. It's a pretty damn awesome game. Also, if you have a Sega Saturn, buy an upscaler. AV to HDMI upscaler. DAGP Tech one apparently looks really nice. That's the one I was using. You can find that on several different websites. And the game, it makes the games look really good. I can tell you that right now. Especially 2D games. Let's see what happens here. We have the famous Acclaim introduction right here from the time period. Got an awesome looking loading screen right there. And this looks like the title screen itself. Yep. Tunnel B1. I wonder if the 3D controller is compatible. Guess it's not. And we got the start game and the option menu here. Let's check out. See here. Gives us an idea of how to play the game. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. One thing I do know is the graphics are pretty damn cool. Wow, the graphics look pretty damn impressive. This is a 3D game on the Saturn. PlayStation was known to have better 3D games on the Saturn, but this looks pretty good. It almost reminds me of like a 3D demo or something. One thing I know for sure is that the frames definitely looks 60 frames per second, and the textures and the graphics look really nice. It's almost like you're driving a vehicle. The controls are actually quite easy. And this is using a upscaler that upscales from a normal AV wire to HDMI. And it still looks pretty damn good. It looks really good. Oh, there we go. Now the door is open. Nice detail. I'm not sure what the hell I'm doing, but the detail on the map's really nice. The explosions that occur are actually quite nice. And we have an enemy right here. Something that was actually shooting at me. Now it's getting a little bit intense. We have some enemies that are actually fighting. Basically what you do in this game is you blow shit up. What the hell is that thing? We have another vehicle in here that's, wow, there's a lot of cool details on that. That's pretty awesome. Whoa, let's back up here. Yeah, I never really even played this game, never heard of it. But what I can tell you is that the graphics are very, very impressive for a game during that time. Really, I already liked the game quite a bit. I guess the only thing you have to do is run through and kill these enemies and get to from one end of the level to the other end. What's amazing is that the game, you guys will see if you put on 60 frames per second, the game it definitely looks like it's in 60 frames per second. Like there's no slowdowns at all. This is a really, really different game on the Saturn. It's kind of like almost like a racing game. I got a mission failed there. Sometime I'm going to definitely keep playing. I would say it's sort of like a racing game, but with some action added into it. We can actually shoot stuff. Get one end to the track to the other end. It's like you're driving like a motorcycle or something. With a gun attached to it. And it's more of like a futuristic type theme to it, so you can see the vehicles kind of look like it's from the future. I'm really digging the game. I think the game's actually pretty good. I would definitely recommend playing this game so far. It's been pretty good as far as I can see. Graphics and sound are quite nice. And I don't think the game really costs that much at all. I got it for like dirt cheap. If you do find it on eBay or wherever you shop for Sega Saturn games, I would definitely recommend getting this game. So here we are playing the Sega Saturn, as you can see there. What an awesome introduction. We have the Action Replay cartridge. In this case, we really don't need that, so we're going to skip through that. This is a Japanese Sega Saturn, so if we're playing American games, we would have to use this. And we are using an HDMI upscaler, so that little 720p thing you see up there in the corner indicates that we are actually using a real Sega Saturn, using a 720p upscale. And this is the introduction to this awesome game right here, Virtua Fighter Kids. And check this out, she's looking down and look who she sees. She sees a kid version of herself. One of the coolest Sega introductions ever. And this right here is the title screen right here, Virtua Fighter Kids. And this is the main menu. It's actually in Japanese. It's the Japanese version. And we're going to play one player. This is two player right here. And this right here is the select screen. The characters are all hand-drawn in the select screen right here. You can see what the characters look like up above. Choose this character right here. We're going to choose the kid version. There's actually two different control schemes, just the kid and the normal. The kid version of the control scheme is a little bit ridiculously easy. And this right here is what the game looks like. It's literally Virtua Fighter, but in kid form. I haven't played this game in forever, so I don't quite remember how the moves to go. See, I just got my ass beat. The graphics are really, really awesome. 60 frames per second. And this is playing off regular AV cords, so it's not a SCART or anything like that. And still the graphics look accurate. It looks pretty good. Best thing to do in this game is to do combos. Bam, just like that. And ring up. Just like that. And then you show off and you taunt your opponent after you kick his ass. This is one reason why the Sega Saturn was awesome. Virtua Fighter, whether it was 1, 2, or this one right here. Awesome game. The background graphics are awesome. All the graphics around the where the 3D polygons are awesome. Probably one of the coolest games ever. A little odd that they came out with a kid version of the game, but I guess you would figure that, you know, there's probably younger kids that can't handle playing Virtua Fighters, so they came up with an easier control scheme for younger kids to play the game with. So this was their Virtua Fighter game. I'm a big fan of fighting games. I do like Soul Blade on the PlayStation, and I do like Soul Calibur, Tekken, those type of games. This game right here is definitely a classic. The upscaling is definitely noticeable. You can definitely see how it actually smoothed out the textures and everything. Looks very, very clean. I'm actually playing this using the 3D Saturn controller. I'm not using the actual joystick on it though. I'm using the D-pad, and that works good enough for me. You can see right here, this game is actually quite easier than the normal Virtua Fighter game. It's probably one of my favorite stages right here. The scenery looks very nice. You got the trees in the background. And I just got my ass beat real bad. Look at that. That was a close fight.
I win.
And you can see he wins. That son of a bitch. Look at the beard on that guy. When did you ever see a kid have a beard? I mean, what's going on here? What the hell? I'm a kid, and that's a midget, a grown-ass midget. I just got my ass beat by a big grown-ass midget. And we're going back 20 years ago. This is the holiday season of 1996. And there was quite a few games available, such as Virtual Cop 2 and Nights into Dreams, and even the Christmas version of Nights into Dreams. But let's check this one out. Sonic 3D Blast for the Sega Saturn. And it has bonus levels that are exclusive to the Sega Saturn version that are really, really nice. Now let's check the game out right here. So we see here the game's about to begin. We have Sonic the Hedgehog right here, and one thing that's right away that you notice that's quite a bit different from the Sega Genesis version is that when you walk onto the bridge actually bends back and forth, which is pretty cool. It's actual real 3D, look at that. Everything about this game is just a touch better than the Genesis version of the game. I mean, the Genesis version for Genesis was actually a masterpiece, but the Saturn version was just quite a bit better, in my opinion. Let's say if you ended up getting the Saturn version, you're going to be quite happy with this, in my opinion. I think it's an awesome game. It's one of the better 96 Christmas season or holiday season games that you could have received for the holidays. It's actually pretty awesome. But, if I would have received it back then, I would have been really, really happy with this. This game came out during the holiday season of 96, and if you had a Saturn back then, you might have been likely to get this underneath your Christmas tree. Let's check it out. And, this version of Daytona USA is very, very similar to the first one, except with improved graphics and very, very different soundtrack. I am a fan of the first Daytona USA soundtrack much better than the second one. However, the graphics from the second one are much nicer, as you can see right there. And that right there is the title screen, Daytona USA Championship Edition. And there is an arcade mode, type attack, 2-player battle. So if you had a brother back then, or a sister, you guys can both play the game. Click on arcade mode, check that out. And we have several different tracks you can choose from right here. And one of these tracks, I believe this one right here, you will recognize from the first game. It looks pretty similar, if not the same. A very, very popular Daytona USA vehicle right there, Hornet. It was featured in Fighter Mega Mix. It's an actual character that you can actually choose in the fighting game. Can you believe that shit? Gentlemen, start your engines. Look at that. And here we have the game right here. And we're going to hold down the acceleration button right here, auto drive. And we are driving right here. We're going to bypass everybody and get into first place. Now this is on the emulator, so you expect a few graphical glitches off in the distance. Don't be surprised by that, as you can see right there. So it plays pretty much identical to the first Daytona USA. but nicer sound effects, and it does have nicer graphics. If you play Daytona USA, the first one, you know what I'm talking about. There is an actual horse that you can play as. If you enter a cheat code, good old cheat codes back then. You don't get those anymore nowadays. Well, back then, cheat codes were very popular, and you can enter one in and you play as a horse. And you can literally make your horse run across the grass, and you can cheat, and you can enter in first place real easily doing that. The horse is awesome. So I think that's one thing that this game might be lacking, but I never actually tried it. Never looked it up either. But that was my favorite part of the first game. And you had a Saturn back in '96. You would not be disappointed by this game if you received it underneath your Christmas tree. Or for Hanukkah. Or for Kwanzaa. Whatever it is that you celebrate. If you received this as a gift during the holiday season of '96, you were pretty much guaranteed to get a really good game. This game was awesome. Perhaps you were overseas during the holiday season of 1996. So let's check out this game right here, which I'm surprised did not release in the United States, but for whatever reason it did release during the holiday season in '96 in Japan. It's Destruction Derby. Let's check it out. Whenever all these, look at this. This does not end. Look at this. There we go. Destruction Derby. Look at that. The Sega Saturn version of Destruction Derby. You know you're gonna kick some ass with this game. Look at this. Buckle up and sit tight. This is one of my favorite old school racing games. It's pretty much you smash the shit out of stuff and that's it. You don't have to take it serious. You'll see in a second. Different views right here you can actually change, and the graphics are actually really nice on the Saturn. Yes, smoke effects are very, very different on the Saturn version versus the PlayStation version, because the PlayStation version has transparency textures for smoke effects. On the Saturn version, they actually have like real smoke textures. They're not transparent, and I kind of like the Sega Saturn version better because of that, because it looks pretty cool. I do know that this game does work with the 3D Saturn controller, which might have came out around the same time. Nights into Dreams just came out around the holiday season of '96. So this game was compatible with the 3D controller, and the controls were even better than using the actual regular 6-button joystick. And then we have this game right here, WWF World Wrestling Federation in your house. I mean, what an awesome game. And we have the Acclaim introduction right here. It's like spectacular looking. Look at that. Now, a few months prior to this game, WrestleMania the arcade game actually released on the Saturn. So literally, you had WrestleMania the arcade game, and then maybe 2 or 3 months later, in your house. So I would probably consider both of those games a holiday season game, and you could have the little fancy introduction right here for in your house with the awesome Raw's War music. It becomes a music CD. You can actually listen to real wrestling music, which is actually pretty awesome. And right here, you can choose your different battle modes, very similar to what you would have in WrestleMania the arcade game. So as you can see there, the arena is pretty much the dungeon in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I believe that's where it's located. Pretty much where Bret Hart, his father, actually had that dungeon over in the basement of his house. And that's where all the wrestlers trained. In the Hart family, or anyone that was associated with the Hart family. It's actually pretty cool. And also the sound effects are loud as hell. You can see all the animations in the background of all these guys watching the match. It's like a really, really bad indie show. Like there's only like maybe one row of people in the back over there just watching the match. And here, there, you have the Bret Hart music right there. It's actually pretty awesome. So every time you get your ass kicked, you hear wrestling music, which is actually pretty awesome. And if digitized wrestling games weren't enough, we had Mortal Kombat, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on the Sega Saturn. Now this is right here is the European version of the game, but it did release over in North America during the holiday season of '96. I believe in Europe it did also.
This is the title screen for Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 right here, and you are going to be pretty happy with this game, I can tell you right now. Let's choose Mortal Kombat. And here we go, right here. We have Mortal Kombat 3, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on Sega Saturn. See, I don't want to pick Novus and then, you know, be called the chicken shit, because I'm not exactly sure how the controls are on this. I never actually played this version of Mortal Kombat before. Alright, so we are Liu Kang. Mess this bitch up. Oh my god, almost jumped what? Yeah, how do you like that? And there's that guy there on the bottom of the screen just popped up out of nowhere. To tell me that my moves are very toasty. For a while I always thought he said whoopsie, but it turns out that he says toasty. And the controls are actually pretty good on the Saturn, as expected. The Saturn controller is the best controller in the world for fighting games. It's official, I just said it. There's also a Fighting Vipers that came out during the holiday season in '96. Another good fighting game. It wasn't 2D, but it's 3D, but very, very good fighting game. Now, not only did Saturn have a handful of various different racing games and a few fighting games here and there, and a couple of wrestling games too, which is actually pretty cool. They had sports games in general. They had Madden 97. I believe they had an NBA Jam game. There's quite a few different games available for the Saturn during the holiday season. So no matter what type of gamer you were, you definitely weren't going to be disappointed. There's plenty of games on the Saturn. Now, unfortunately, during the holiday season in '96, the PlayStation had over 60 games available that released during the holiday season in '96, which is insane. Pretty much slaughtered the N64 and the Saturn as far as competition goes. But if you had N64 or Saturn, you were going to be happy, no matter what, because you had good games on either console.